What up? It's Jack, aka Just a Cunt here, and today I wanted to talk about what I believe to be the current top 10 best grapplers in the UFC. Get out of here, ref, you little map. Oh, fuck. Damn, that's a nasty ass left hook. What the fuck? The criteria for this list is quite simple. The most important thing is competition, aka the higher level grappler they have faced, the better they will do on this list. Number 2 is consistency / performances. The more high level performances a grappler has, the higher on this list they will be, and them in addition doing so across multiple fights and styles will get them more credit on this list. The third and final part of my criteria is versatility in terms of BJJ, wrestling, and overall finishing ability. Whether it's submissions or ground and pound, the more skills they possess, the better they will do on this list. With that being said, let's get started with number 10. Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira. Now, what makes Oliveira hard to rank is that he is, you'll notice a theme throughout this video. There are a lot of grapplers that are really good wrestlers that can get a lot of control, but aren't the best at finishes, particularly with submissions. And on the other hand, there's going to be some grapplers that are incredibly good BJJ artists and can do really good when the fight gets to the ground, but they struggle getting there. Now, Charles Oliveira is absolutely someone that could wrestle, get fights to the ground. He's really good at body locks, bowling. He has some good trips as well. As we saw in the Chandler second fight, he does a really good job with single legs of tripping the leg out from his opponent and capitalizing on good situations. He's also quite good at pulling guard in a way that is well prepared, that leads to better positions. So against Arman Tsarukyan, an incredibly high-level grappler, being able to pull a guillotine and ending up on mount, that's very good. But at the same time, against the highest level grapplers, so guys like Arman, Islam, even decent grapplers like a Dustin Poirier, he struggles to really get them down and can have trouble controlling the grapplers. Now, in terms of pure offense, there's probably no one better at latching up submissions than Charles. He is someone that in the midst of the fight where he doesn't need a lot of setup. Against Kevin Lee, he's able to snatch it up off a lazy takedown. Against someone like Tony Ferguson, he was able to throw up arm bars, triangles, get them up very quickly. But he also knows how to use them for his advantage in terms of not just banking on submissions. He does quite a good job of getting positions out of it, of getting back to his feet if he wants to stand up. And he is someone that maximizes his ability to submit people. Where he struggles is that he's not that great with ground and pound. As he gets someone's guard, he's not the best of really landing a lot of offense. He kind of needs to, focus on arm bars, focus on arm triangles, etc. And as mentioned before, his takedown ability is limited. If he's unable to really bully his opponent like Tony Ferguson and, just pick him up and put him down like Khamzat style, he lacks the technical skill, the judo, and the raw wrestling ability to really out-scramble people and get them down consistently. He's not a very consistent grappler. For where he has great performances like against Tony Ferguson and Chandler the second time, he also was ones against Gaethje where if it wasn't for him being able to drop Gaethje, he seemed like he really couldn't take down Gaethje. He really didn't have that ability. And then obviously against people like Arman and Islam, they were able to defend his submissions, get into mount, land good ground and pound. Even Beneil Dariush is someone that was able to take top control on Oliveira. And while not landing anything meaningful, he's definitely not in danger a lot of the time against Oliveira for as long as that fight lasted. So nonetheless, moving on to number 9, we have Aljamain Sterling. Now for me, Aljamain Sterling is someone that I feel is quite underrated, particularly as a grappler. When looking at his career, he is relatively inconsistent and he isn't as dominant as many would want him to be, considering just how good he is in certain areas, particularly his ability to take someone's back and control it. When looking at his bantamweight run, being able to choke out Corey Sandhagen, even if it was early in Sandhagen's career, being able to choke him out that easily is very impressive. And then while he didn't perform great against Petr Yan the first time, people really don't like to mention in the second fight, the second he got Petr Yan's back, he was able to bank rounds purely based on that. He is really good at just positional control. While not the best submission artist at the top level, his ability to really control people and really put him through the meat grinder is very impressive. He is someone that is a very good balance of pure wrestling ability and pure BJJ, with some of the craziest submissions of all time as well. In addition to that, being able to face really good grapplers such as Henry Cejudo and land more takedowns, be able to bully him a little bit and not really being any threat. He also, when moving up to 145, was able to dominate Calvin Kattar in a way we haven't seen before or since, like literally power bombing him, like damn near getting DQ'd was how badly he was throwing around Calvin. And then against Movsar Evloev in a division he's still getting used to, being able to consistently keep up with him or even out wrestle him in a lot of moments is incredibly impressive. And Aljamain Sterling deserves a lot of respect, even if he's had some gimme fights like against TJ Dillashaw, even if he was struggled to get Sean O'Malley down. He is someone that is relatively inconsistent and can't impose his will right away as well as some other fighters can. He is definitely, in terms of submission offense, consistency in terms of how going against really high level competition, he is one of the best out there and deserves a lot of respect. But moving on to number 8, we have Omar Usman. Usman, pre the Buckley fight, may not even be on this list. Not because he isn't a great grappler, of course, but because he is relatively abandoned for the most part, whether that be due to his knee injuries, whether that be his new love on the feet, or whether it be just a raw success. I mean, at the end of the day, this man was flatlining Jorge Masvidal, dropping Colby Covington, and doing really good against really good strikers such as Leon Edwards. Why wouldn't he strike? But that's where the problem comes in. Depending on what Buckley looks like in the future in terms of takedowns, Usman is a really good takedown artist, and he's a really good feint. His ability to just reach down for your leg and really catch people off guard is very good, and his raw physicality, even when moving up, is very impressive. There's not a lot of people that can really use the clinch, use the cage, and use just a very exhausting style as well as Usman can. In addition to that, he is quite good ground and pound. He's very long, strong arms, can do good work in the mount. The main problem for him though is that he isn't very consistent against a guy like Leon, who isn't the most incredible defensive wrestler. He was able to stuff most of Usman's takedowns. In addition to that, when Leon got a takedown on him, he lost the round. He got mounted and got controlled. Against Khamzat, even if it is Khamzat, there was something to be desired with how much he was able to get controlled and how much Khamzat was able to really bully him and make it not very competitive until later in that fight after he started tired. Usman is really good control, really good takedowns, but he's not consistent enough for me to consistently put him above this list. In addition to having virtually no submission threat, not even really taking someone's back, he really is a pure offensive grappler with great defensive jiu-jitsu, but not the best at getting out of bad positions and scrambling, whether that be due to his knees, whether it be due to his age. It's something, there are a lot of holes in his wrestling game, or in his grappling game overall, where he is very elite and dominant in other areas, but he has some holes that really prevent him from really getting to the top of this list. Moving on though to number 7, we have Balal Muhammad. Balal's an interesting guy to rank. As for me, he's an underrated striker, I will say, because the way he's able to implement his striking and funneling that into his takedown gauntlet, his cycle of takedowns, the sequence he puts people in, the boxing, getting people's hands up, look at Leon Edwards, moving that into single legs, dumping them. You can clearly see that Balal is a very educated grappler in terms of how he gets to the positions he wants to, and his single leg high crotch is incredible. His double leg is quite good, and unlike Usman, he will use jiu-jitsu. He will take people's backs. He will threaten with submissions, with kimuras, with rear naked chokes, something that Usman isn't the greatest at. And Balal's takedown defense is incredible. I mean, look at this fight against Shawn Brady, Gilbert Burns. If he doesn't want to get taken down, he's really good at keeping it on the feet. Where he struggles though is that while yes, he offers a lot of submission threats, he hardly gets them. And besides guys like Wonder Boy, he hasn't really landed as much ground and pound as I wanted to, even against guys like Leon Edwards. He's also can put himself in bad position when the fight gets to the ground. Leon Edwards, while yes, a great grappler, was able to take his back and control him for a round. He was also able to reverse him and land great elbows on him. Balal is someone that is a little bit too comfortable on the feet in terms of facing a guy like JDM, where it took him so long to finally start getting takedowns going and being able to get out scrambled. Balal definitely struggles with really high-level BJJ guys, and you kind of saw that in the Brady fight. As well, he still won that fight, of course. It wasn't due to his offensive grappling, it's the fact he wanted nothing to do with Shawn Brady, or at least it was a path of least resistance and wanted to keep it on the feet. So Balal is very underrated, but definitely lacks finishing ability, and when it gets to the ground, he can get out scrambled. He's not the best at controlling people, and he struggles with really high level BJJ guys. Unlike the next person though, number 6, we have Arman Tsarukyan. Arman, I think, is getting a little underrated. His grappling, while not the best, it is incredibly high level, and is one of the only people to not only take down Oliveira, but just sit in his guard and defend all of his submissions pretty comfortably. Well, yes, the guillotine was tight and the darts and stuff was tight. None of it really looked like he was about to tap. He was able to fight off it, and he wasn't discouraged by Oliveira, who is probably the best off his back. There's not a lot of people that can really offer up as much off their back as someone like Oliveira. Tsarukyan is also someone that really sticks to his grappling. He has a lot of confidence in him. While someone like Balal is much better on the feet than a guy like Arman, Arman throughout all of his fights has always shot takedowns, grappled, and wrestled against guys like Islam, against guys like Gamrot. There's nothing stopping him from enforcing his will. His dominance is quite high level, and his ground and pound is really good as well. For what he lacks in submissions, while he does have a couple, his elbows, looking at the Joel Alvarez fight, being able to slice people open against Oliveira, being able to sit in his guard and land ground and pound. Arman Tsarukyan is incredibly good at landing a lot of damage. With how compact he is, how big he is. He's like Michael Chandler if he wasn't fucking retarded. He is really high level. He is an incredibly difficult style for someone like Islam. It's just, as a fighter, his holes come from on the feet where, well, yes, he is a great takedown artist. He's not as dominant as other people later in this list, and people have gotten up from the bottom. And if you're someone like Gamrot, who's very active, and someone that can really scramble consistently, if you're able to take the fight into deeper waters, Arman isn't always able to keep up the same pace and pressure he is earlier in the fight. But nonetheless, he is very underrated and one of the best grapplers we have. Moving on though to number 5, we got my boy, Shawn Brady. I wanted to put this brother higher, but I wanted to give credit to some of the future champions that we're going up here. Now, Shawn Brady is the best BJJ artist, or at least the most effective, in my opinion, currently in the UFC, as his wrestling is very good, don't get me wrong. He could shoot a double leg, he could shoot a single, but he's definitely much more of a BJJ guy. Does really good in the clinch, likes to get trips, likes to steal people's backs, likes to really good at counter grappling, as shown in the Leon Edwards fight. When given a position to control, he will take it, and as soon as it gets to the ground, the floor is lava with him. Balal Muhammad wanted nothing to do with Shawn Brady on the ground. No one really does. And I don't see anyone in or around his weight division being able to compete with him when it gets to the ground. He beat Craig Jones. I say this every time I bring it up, but he just beat Craig Jones in a BJJ match where the only thing wasn't allowed was fucking leg locks. And last time I checked, pretty much no one here besides Oliveira is going to pull a fucking leg lock. And even then, I don't see Oliveira being that successful. His Kimuras, his top pressure is something a lot of BJJ guys lack. He is so good at that top game, that position from submissions, getting the Kimura to go to mount, from mount to mounted guillotine, taking the back. He's so good at floating above people, really letting people get move so he can take advantage of a different position. He is so good at keeping people on the ground. He's exhausting. He can take you down and control you in the center against the fence. And for what he lacks in being a elite takedown artist, as guys maybe like Arman or Balal, he's someone that in terms of actually positional grappling, there's no one better than Shawn Brady, but he just lacks in that pure ability to dominate people in terms of takedowns. He needs more double legs. He needs more trips. He just needs more offensive grappling in terms of takedowns that I feel will really bump him up these next couple of spots to get him to the top. But in terms of just purely the second it hits the ground, there's nobody better than Shawn Brady, in my opinion. Moving on, though, number 4, we have Alejandre Pantoia, who's finally starting to get some goddamn respect. In addition to that, Pantoia, I feel, is leveling up his game. When looking at I believe the third Moreno fight, the third or second one where he won the belt, he struggled getting Moreno down. It was much more of a traditional BJJ guy, pulling guard, trying to attack the back, go for leg locks, go for a lot of risky positions that are high risk, not very good reward. But as we've seen him evolve against guys like Kai Asakura, against guys like Kai Kara France, against anyone named Kai, he is incredibly good at getting takedowns and just winning the round off that. In addition to that, his back takes, I think, are even better than Aljamain Sterling, particularly with how creative they can be. Normally, when someone is in a grappling position, height wins. The taller you are than your opponent, the more opportunity you have to get up. Pantoia does a really good job, as shown in the Kai Kara France fight, as getting someone's back, they stand up, and being able to trip them and pull them down. He doesn't waste a lot of energy in terms of like hanging off the back, which he can do, as shown in the Perez fight. He can run across the octagon and just choke someone out. He is very good at that. He is a deadly mixture of position, submissions, control, overall ability to make things happen on the ground where other fighters can't. He just, once again, isn't the greatest takedown artist. He doesn't have as crazy double legs as someone like Arman or other guys later in this list. He is a very solid 8, 9 out of 10 grappler with some couple things he can work on to really take him to that number 3, number 2, number 1 spot. But nonetheless, moving on, Merab Dvalishvili. Now this brother is a little bit hard to rank. The reason for that being, in terms of pure technical ability, there's a lot of guys on the list I'd probably put above him. Shawn Brady is a better BJJ artist than this guy. Arman's a better takedown artist, but what they don't have is raw dominance and able to implement their will. Merab is improving greatly as well with his submissions against someone like Sean O'Malley, who is shown to be very good defensively BJJ-wise. His ability to just really bully people. If he's going against someone that doesn't have the physicality to compete with him, he's going to bully them. And looking at that Umar fight, who's someone you can put on this list in terms of just pure skill, seeing him be able to, while struggle in the beginning, the second the fight starts to go on later, Merab able to consistently take him down, defend, literally just like stand up, put his crotch in Umar's face, take him down and somersault him. Merab is getting better as a champion, which is scary. As his raw physical ability, he's very hard to choke, he's hard to reverse, and his raw competition, I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov, Henry Cejudo, even very good defensive guys like Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. There's no one that has really the raw competition to compete with Merab in terms of grappling, and the fact that the next two guys ahead of them, with how good they are, how skilled they are, the fact that Merab has been able to really claw his way, etch out his spot in this list, pure fucking raw effort, pure fucking will. And now he's starting to combine that with high-level skill. It's very impressive to see what Merab has been able to do with his last couple fights, and it's only going up from here. So I'm very excited to see how he's going to do against someone like Corey, against guys where I think he's going to really highlight his raw fucking domination. Moving on though to number 2. Islam Makhachev. I think a lot of guys expected these two to be the top 2, and you can probably guess who number 1 is. Now, what puts Islam under number 1? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of 50-50. For me, what puts Islam below the next guy is his relative inconsistency. I say this being as nitpicky as possible. I am not saying Islam is inconsistent. He is not. But sometimes against Dan Hooker, he looks like number 1 and just runs across the cage, shakes him down, and Kimura him. But against Dustin Poirier, he got a lot of takedown stuffed. And while he is someone that can do really good offensively, in the early going was especially the Kimura. He's really good with that Kimura and that Darce choke. As someone gets more comfortable with him, it gets a little bit more sweaty. He is very good control-wise, especially if he takes the back. But if it's just on the ground, on mount in the open space, generally people can get up from bottom. Dustin Poirier is able to do it a lot. Even guys like Volkanovski, who's much smaller than him, was able to defend a lot of it. Islam is an incredibly high-level grappler. I mean, he's the second person on this list. But he doesn't have the raw, pure, unadulterated fucking offense that we have never seen before, who in my opinion is not only the best grappler currently in the UFC, probably of all time besides maybe Khabib. Number one is Khamzat Chimaev. I'm sorry, there's not too much to say. Khamzat has been proven. A lot of people think that he hasn't, or it's like, wait until he faces this guy. I'm sorry, but Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, fucking Robert Whittaker, back to back to back. In terms of pure grappling, it's pretty hard to really compete with that level of competition. In addition to that, what he does to guys that if he really wants to prove a point against someone like Usman, nobody can do that. And I can't see Islam, even if he was sized up to Khamzat size, just running across Usman, taking him down, taking his back, and damn near choking him out. I think he could have stopped Usman if he just really focused on ground and pound. Speaking of which, his ground and pound is incredible. His offense is incredible. His Darce choke is incredible. His back taking ability is incredible. Everything about his grappling, it's fast, it's powerful, it's dynamic. The only thing that's really missing is his cardio. His raw offensive ability is something he can't maintain. But looking at people he's faced, I mean, why would he try to pace himself when guys just can't handle him most of the time? I mean, this DDP fight is going to make or break a lot of this. If he does just gas out and get TKO'd later, which I don't expect happening, I think he's going to dominate DDP start to finish. And I think anytime they're in a fight, he's going to be able to get a takedown. It's not just like Usman was unexpected. He kept getting taken down. He couldn't stop it. It's one thing when you get an early takedown when you're dry and you don't have the reaction, you're still kind of getting used to everything. He literally took down Usman every single round pretty much when he wanted to. You can put Islam up here. Islam is definitely better as the fight goes on. He's more consistent. He's had more later round finishes against guys like Dustin Poirier. He has a lot of proven talent against a high level competition with a bunch of different styles. Moicano isn't a slouch on the ground. Poirier isn't a slouch on the ground. I mean, he's definitely someone that you can put above here, but I think Khamzat raw offensive ability is so great, and he's not weak in competition either, that I think I have to put him number one. But if you want to put Islam number one, I think that's fine. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I wanted to get a little part 2 from the strikers list coming up to the grapplers, and maybe I'll try and do some more from here, maybe go by division, maybe do all time, we'll see. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, have a good one.